Welcome back to Tater Pours. Tonight I've got a very special bottle that I've had my eyes on for about 3 months, sitting on the shelf over at a local store that I frequent. This is the 2024 Thomas H. Handy Sazerac Rye from the Buffalo Trace Antique Collection. It's my first bottle from the BTAC collection that I've ever purchased. I've tried a bunch of different bars, but this is the first one I've ever owned. And after trying it for my birthday on Sunday, I think I made the right choice. It was at a good price, and anything else I could find from the antique collection around here was not at a good price. They were all probably marked up close to like 6 to 8 times what retail is. Secondary on them was very high. I say I got this one for a good price just because a lot of secondary around what I've seen on the internet is probably close to $700, in between that $500, $700 range. But I was pretty happy with what I paid for it, and I'll get more into what I paid for it closer to the end of the video. So this is a 6-year rye, making it the youngest of the BTAC collection. But from what I've tried of the 2024 bottles, it honestly sips just as good as the older bottles in the collection. It comes in at 127.2 proof. It's a barrel proof rye from Sazerac. I have the Sazerac rye right behind me, and I've tried them side by side just for fun. And obviously they're not comparable. One's a $30 bottle, one retails at close to, I think it's $170 is the new retail prices now. I think it could be $150 of last year's, but didn't pay $150 or $170 for this. But getting into it today, I'm gonna talk about the color, the nose, and the palate as usual. Score each one, talk value, and we'll wrap up the review. So, color-wise, it's not a dark color. It's a pretty light, more orange in color, fitting with the color of the cap. Just one of the best noses I've ever smelled on a whiskey. I'm definitely starting to love ryes. When I first started drinking bourbon, and probably, I don't know, years ago, I wasn't a huge rye fan. Now I love the nose on ryes, I love the palate. This is a different type of rye though. It doesn't come up super rye heavy when you sip it. It's definitely a bourbon drinker's rye. That being said, you still do get some of the rye spice. A little bit of rye on the nose, but you also just get a lot of orange off the nose, like orange zest. And one of the main things that I saw online, or actually just from a few people, was herbal tea notes. And I get that on the nose, and the other night when I tried it, I was getting it on the palate as well. And to me, my favorite thing about this whiskey is the green tea note on the palate. The rye almost mixes with the like orange zest flavor of it so much that it gives it like this green tea note. The nose is absolutely incredible, like absolutely incredible. Super light, baking spices. Doesn't smell or sip like a 6-year whiskey. It blows my mind how this compares to the rest of the antique collection. I've had the 2024 GTS and the Eagle Rare 17. I have not had the 2024 WOW though. I mean, good Lord. I mean, for me, this is about as good as it gets. It's right up my alley, nose-wise. So, I mean, with that being said, I gotta go really high. I'm not gonna lie. I like the nose on this just as good, if not more, than the 2024 GTS. I'm gonna go with a 9.7. It's the highest score that I'll probably give out for a really long time. I love it though. I think it's such a great nose. Super fresh, light, fruity. It's just amazing. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna savor this bottle. I honestly think I'll probably pour it like going forward twice a year until it runs out. This is one of the best whiskeys I've ever had in my life. And that's probably a bit subjective because, I mean, everybody and their mother put the 2024 GTS over this. I'm going to come out with a hot take and say that I actually like this better than the 2024 GTS. That would have been the second place for me in the antique collection of what I've tried. But this is just right up my alley as far as palate and nose goes. I don't have enough to say about it. It's insane. The proof hits where it needs to. I mean, 127 is a pretty solid proof, pretty proofy. But the flavors just completely overtake the proof, and the coating of the mouth, like everything, it just takes away the proof. You definitely get orange for me. I get a decent bit of baking spice mixed in with the rye spice. But then, like I said earlier, it all just kind of evolves for me into this kind of green tea note. I don't know, it's like just like a super herbal tea type of note, but in the in the smoothest way possible. I'm not even like a huge like fruity herbal note fan. I didn't at least know that until I tried this. I've had some more herbal stuff, like in my opinion the Grain to Glass series from Heaven Hill is like a bit more herbal. The way that's herbal though does not even compare to how this is. This is just it's just the smoothest, most like decadent fruit flavor you've ever experienced, in my opinion. And I tried this at a bar and I thought it was amazing. But actually having the bottle, pouring it, letting it rest, and doing everything myself, it just like blew my mind, honestly, with how good it is. It's up there, it's in the conversation for the best whiskey I've ever had. That's all I'll say. I've had some Pappies, had the Pappy 18, haven't had the 15, but that would be up there with it. The George T. Stagg, I've had 2 different years of that. This is just right up my alley as far as palate goes. So take that with a grain of salt. This is a subjective opinion that I'm putting forward, but for me, it's one of the best whiskeys I've ever had. I love it, and it's got to be the biggest sleeper of the antique collection, in my opinion, because I think everybody goes from George T. Stagg to William LaRue Weller to probably Eagle Rare 17, and I think this should be in the top 3. Number one, it should 100% be in the top 3, and I think some years possibly in the top 2, including 2024. I haven't tried the WLW, but if it outdid the Stag, then those would probably be my top 2. It's stupid good. Yeah. I mean, it only goes up from there. I said or from here. It only goes up from here, but yeah, I mean, it only goes up from here, but my thing is that of what I've tried so far in my life, this is 100% in the conversation for the best whiskey I've ever had. And in that sense, I have to give it a 9.8 on the palate. It gives me 2 points of room for if I end up finding a 10 during my journey, but I'm comfortable with saying that even throughout everything I'll end up trying, it's gonna definitely stand the test of time as a 9.8. I love it. It's, for me, about as close to a perfect whiskey as it gets, and that's crazy because I love older whiskeys and this is only 6 years old, which blows my mind. It's so good. It's got a good bit of vanilla on the palate too. Kind of comes in on the front and on the finish, I would say. Wow. I mean, I'm impressed. So what, I said 9.7 nose, 9.8 palate. Gives us an average of 97.5. 100% we're rounding up to the 9.8 for the final score. It's just, I think it deserves every bit of a 9.8 on my scale, especially for what I like. It's just, there's gonna be very few bottles for me and what I like that beat this. And it's funny because like my range of what I like, I would say goes from like a super herbal, smooth finish like this to really oaky, dark, oaky, palate and nose, more tobacco forward. I love that, but this is incredible. Yeah, so 9.8 is our final score on this one. So let's talk value. The retail price for this, I would buy 3 of them. I mean, you're never gonna come into a circumstance where you have that option. But if this sat on shelves at retail, I would literally go to the store and buy 3 of them. Or as many as I could, honestly. Are you gonna find it at retail price unless you have some sort of relationship with a great store owner in your area? No. You're probably gonna end up paying secondary if you do come across one, like I did. I'm gonna try my best this year to try to find one of these at retail whenever allocation season comes up. I mean, or anything from the antique collection. But now that I've tried this and I've tried others, this is one I definitely will be hunting for along with the WOW when allocation season comes around. I'll take what I can get though. So let's get to value. As I said, 150, I think they went up though to 170. I think the 2025 release will be 170 if I'm not mistaken. It's worth that value all day long. Is it worth secondary value? So let's talk about what I paid for this. I paid 400 bones for this bad boy. Was it worth it? This is going to be the rare case where I overpaid for a bottle and I say, absolutely, hell yeah, it was worth it. This is, like I said, one of the best I've ever had. And it's something that I'm willing to shell out that much money for on a special occasion. I bought it for my birthday, so on a regular week, if I ran across this at 400, am I buying it? Maybe a 2024 if I've been pretty smart with my financial decisions for the last month before it. but not regularly. I'm not paying that for it. More of a special occasion type buy. So I did buy it at a secondary price a bit lower than what I've seen around is kind of the norm for the secondary price for it. But absolutely, I think that's probably where I'd top out at. I think that's about where I'd I think that's about where I'd top out at for just about any bottle. Is around that 400 range. But was it worth it? Yeah, it was definitely worth it. Will I be trying to grab one for retail this year as opposed to missing out and paying secondary? Absolutely. But would I pay it again on a special occasion? If it was the 2024, more than likely, yeah, I probably would. Yeah, so that's my review, 2024 Thomas H. Handy. I know in my last video I said I was going to be reviewing my Stag 24B, but this ended up getting picked up. Had to throw this one out first, especially just ending my birthday weekend. Had to go ahead and film this review. Thank you guys so much for watching. Tune in for some more blind challenges that I'll post this week, and then also, like I said, I'll be getting back to the Stag 24 for the review. But yeah, as always, have a great night.